Das Nashorn. Where is Das Nashorn? Well, it's part of the Berlin Zoo, and that's one of the places we're going to be going today. So let's start off with just our general view once again of Berlin. We always start off with the Tiergarten in the middle. Last week we visited the Brandenburg Gate and we visited the Reichstaggebäude, which is right here. And we also talked about in the middle of the Tiergarten is the Siegessäule. So I have a picture of that right here. Boom, we talked about that last week with the golden angel on top. And it's in the roundabout and such. And you can go and see it. And a lot of times they've got protests there. So that's old news. We've been there. We were there last week several times. So we're going to move along. Actually, what we're going to do today is I wanted to show you with the wall just where some of the things are. So here, of course, is the Brandenburg Gate, and here is the Reichstaggebäude, and right in the middle is the Siegessäule. They're not showing it. But right here, right in the middle there is where the wall kind of comes down and it takes a turn. And that used to be one of the most prolific parts of Berlin. I mean, if you think about it, it's right in the middle of the city. So that was called Potsdamer Platz. Now this is Potsdamer Platz today. That's the Sony Center right there. You can see it's a very modern part of the city. Well, that's because Potsdamer Platz was destroyed to put up the wall. Where the wall was, they just tore it down. Imagine if they tore out Times Square to put up a wall. Well, that's basically what they did. They took out the Times Square of Berlin. It became nothing to build this wall. So I think I've told you that I said that this is my dream job, even I guess from home, that I've always wanted to be a German teacher. And I realized that I wanted to be a German teacher when I was walking past the Berlin Wall. I'm sorry, the Brandenburg Gate, where the Berlin Wall had been. And I looked over and I saw this sign that said, danger landmines. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just too cool. This is the job I want to have. I want to teach German for the rest of my life and all that. Well, that happened right there, right where my finger is on the computer. And where that is right now is both the new version of Potsdamer Platz, which I showed you, and this right here. So what in the world is this? So this is the memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe. It's called Das Denkmal ermordeten Juden Europas. And I have actually never been to this because when I was there last, it didn't exist yet because it, like I said, at one point it had been all landmines and stuff like that. But as you look at this, you'll see that they're all different sizes. And it really doesn't look like much of anything. It's supposed to be reminiscent of various types of gravestones for the various ages of Jews who died in the Holocaust. And if you look at it from above, kind of like here, you can see how it sort of makes a wave-like look to it. This is a really interesting memorial. All of these stones are unmarked. If you're in the middle of it, it looks kind of like this, and it's very overwhelming, from what I understand, to be in the middle of all of it. It's a very interesting memorial right there next to the Brandenburg Gate. So I'm going to show you again where that is. So the Brandenburg Gate is right here, and then where the wall was is where that memorial is, and then just south of it is Potsdamer Platz. Over here in this part of town, we're getting into some of the almost like a suburb area of Berlin, and that is where you get this. This is a castle called Charlottenburg, Schloss Charlottenburg, and it's pretty. It's okay. On the inside, I'll be honest, I thought it kind of looked just like an old art museum. I thought it was okay, but the outside was really cool. That's the front yard to it, and then over here is the backyard. And I just thought that the pond in the back was just absolutely amazing. There were some ducks and stuff that we were feeding, and it was just really cool. You can see it. There's the big old statue up there. So this is a pretty cool castle. It's in Berlin. Actually, it was in West Berlin. So if we look at the current map, there is the Tiergarten, and Charlottenburg is right here. You can see it says Schloss Charlottenburg. You can see how big it is. I don't know if there we got a picture coming up. All right. And I wanted to end the day on a place that we've actually been to already, and that is the Bahnhof Zoo, because we've been talking about the Bahnkarte and the Streifenkarte and the Tageskarte, and that was all part of the vocab that you had today. So that's at the Bahnhof Zoo, and what of course is across the street from the Bahnhof Zoo? Well, we have the Kaiser Wilhelm Church, which is right in that little funky looking block, and then the Berlin Zoo. So let's go there really quick. One of the things you have to do for your brochure is show a map. So this is an example of a map that you could do, and I think I've got a better view of it right here. This is a better view of it. So this is a map of the inside of the zoo in Berlin, and that's totally fine to show that kind of thing. In fact, I probably could sit here and look at it for a long time. This one's actually in English. You get the pig house and the hippo house and the rhino house and the elephant house and all kinds of different stuff. So you can check that out on your own. So to recap, we've had the Bahnhof Zoo, we've had the Berlin Zoo, we've had more of the Berlin Zoo, the Siegessäule, Potsdamer Platz, and Schloss Charlottenburg. Don't forget also the memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe. We'll speak more about these as the week goes on. I hope you have a great day.